Welcome inside the locker room on a feel good Friday morning. Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. It's 18 minutes past 8 a.m. Apologies for the late kickoff. Things tend to happen behind the scenes, but we're sorted. We're ready to go. And it's going to be an amazing one as always. My name is Ayokunmi, and welcome into another episode where we talk about great sporting action. And you know that I am not doing this alone. No, this journey is with me and someone else. It is fresh off the back of the LIS Summit Day 1. Tega Supreme, bright, beautiful as she always is, even on Zoom with us this morning. Tega, great to have you join me on the show. And you're muted, Tega.
As usual. Good morning, everybody. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, yes.
What else? What's been happening? What's been happening? Oh yes, ladies in sports conference. Oh my goodness. I wish I could dance. Oh. I wish
I
I
think
could
you can.
dance. Well, we'll talk about that. Also, we had the fantastic captain of the under 19 team that went to the World Cup to do fantastic things. She spoke with us yesterday. I'll tell you just a little bit because I'm kind. But if you want to know about today's own, Chatham House rules. If you are not there, you've missed out. All right. So that's one of the things happening. Also, power pass power. Did you hear? Lewandowski came out to say that I'm not playing for Poland again as long as this coach is there. The
Mm,
next day, coach resigned.
just like
I
that.
say, can never be Africa. You instead, you will leave your citizenship, your family will leave the citizenship, you can find another country. What's wrong with you? Just like that. Just like that. And Lewandowski is already on his way out. Oh.
I mean,
He's not a spring chicken.
that
He
is
say,
power.
I'm telling you, he's working towards pension. And he said, if this coach doesn't leave, I won't play again. Next day, coach resign. I need that kind of power. Anyway, we'll talk we'll talk about people leaving and people coming in the locker room this morning. A sprinkling of tennis, the NBA finals, what else is happening, and some football. All right. All of that and more inside the locker room this morning. Before we do any talking, Ayokunmi, tell us, how can we be part of the locker room today?
All right, to join us in the locker room today, all you need to do is to send your messages in on WhatsApp. That is one way to do it. 0809 444 0981 is the WhatsApp number. You can also join the live stream on YouTube. Grab your front row seat. You're definitely going to need it. It's at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Those are the ways you can join in on the show this morning. We always look forward to hearing from you. All right, Sega, let's begin in the world of basketball. And you already alluded to the NBA Finals, where Tyrese Halliburton praised a team effort from the Indiana Pacers after they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 116 to 107 to take a 2-1 lead in the NBA Finals. It's heating up.
Yes, I told you they had to defend that home court. After I don't think they were mad about losing game 2 because they were on the road, but I think it was the manner in which they lost game 2. There was no point in which and no area on the court in which they were in match for OKC in that game 2. They were beaten defensively, they were beaten offensively, they were beaten on the boards, beaten on the glass, beaten from the 3 point line, beaten from the free throw line. They were beating them every minute of the game. All right. And I think it's the manner in which they lost game 2 that made it really disheartening, almost as if they couldn't bounce back. So when they went back home, the first thing that tripped me was the t-shirts. The t-shirt said, but this is Indiana. That's all it said. It's like whatever you want to say about the OKC, this is Indiana. And everybody wore the t-shirts from legends of the game to CEOs in Indiana. And that's what I like about the community. You see the celebrities, the legends of the game, everybody, they came out and they were wearing that t-shirt.
Mhm.
And I'm sure they were handing out that t-shirt at the door. Cheap
That's,
t-shirt, but they were
that's what you
wearing
call
it.
support.
I'm telling you. So by the time OKC stepped into the building, and I'm sure they expected it, it was yellow everywhere. Yellow. This is Indiana. And but OKC still started the game well. Again, Indiana Pacers had to play catch up. OKC still started the game better in the first quarter. In the second quarter, they started trading. momentum a little bit, but by the third quarter was when they started catching up. OKC had a 9 point lead. There was a time they had an 11 point lead. Then Indiana caught up, and then they stretched the lead against another 9 point lead. But
Mm. You're breaking. You're
like
breaking off, Tega. Okay. You're back. You broke off for a second there. Are you there, Tega?
so
Network, please
let's
be
see the
kind.
position.
You
Okay, so I found a spot.
you broke off for a bit. I thought maybe the network was trying to misbehave and get into the middle of our
I,
conversation.
I think it I think it was. So I found the spot.
Ah, okay, that's fine. Just stay there. Do not move. Just stay there.
Do not move, just stay here. All right. And so it was the Indiana Pacers kept up close enough so that they will be able to make the comeback fully. And by that fourth quarter, you know how they do it. They came back like Jordan.
Mm,
And they were able to and they were able to win game three. So fantastic one. I had the belief that if OKC had won game three, it'd be tough psychologically for Pacers to find the fight. But since the
right.
Pacers have won game three, even Indiana would interpret it like, sorry, even OKC would interpret it like something that was supposed to happen. So the battle is not over. The fact that Pacers won game three haven't guaranteed that they'll win the playoffs. But what it has done is psychologically, it has made this a fight again. And so
Mm,
I can't wait to hear. I can't
yes,
wait to
indeed.
see who is going to win this fight. So this weekend, game four, um, back on, and let's see if they can split the series into 2-2, or Indiana can go up 3-1. We wait to find out this weekend.
Indiana going up 3-1 is going to be very huge. Like you said, it's going to be a very, very huge mental battle at the end of the day. And we'll see how it plays out. All right, let's step into the world of tennis, where German top seed Alexander Zverev beat Frenchman Corentin Moutet 6-2, 7-6 on Thursday to reach the Stuttgart Open quarterfinals, stayed on course in his Wimbledon tune-up after a quarterfinal run at Roland Garros. Tega, you're muted. Kindly unmute. Um, I hope you can hear me, Tega. You are muted at the moment. In case you don't know.
I can see you now. I don't know what's happening to my spot again.
Well, that's what you just behave. I can hear you now, though. You were muted and then you unmuted and muted, but you're
Okay.
unmuted right now. So please go ahead.
All right. So, okay. All right. So it is grass court season, as you know, the shortest season in tennis.
Yeah.
And we started with the women at the HSBC Championships, and now the men have started with their own preparation. Now, there are some people that may not even play any grass court before they get to Wimbledon, which is tricky because you don't want to go into a Grand Slam without competition, without any competitive test on the new surface, because we want to know how the ball bounces, the movement is different, everything is different. And so Zverev started, you know, planning for Wimbledon with the, with the Stuttgart Open. Now, the thing about Wimbledon is already people are anticipating that it's going to be another Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz show, but they're like, we'll participate as much as we can. And so Zverev started with a tough match, actually, because Mute is not an easy person to beat. He fights, he makes you work hard for any win against him, regardless of the scoreline you see. Every single point is a fight, except you hit an ace.
Hmm.
And so it's good preparation for Sasha Zverev. Also, Medvedev was on court to try out his hand at the new grass because he really hates clay, but he's not so bad on grass. So You see the guys preparing for Wimbledon, which is at the end of the month, not so far away, with such a short period of time. But again, at the mindset, I mean, when you ask these guys at the press conference, they're like, "Did you see Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz at the Roland Garros Open final? We can't compete." It's almost almost as if they're conceding defeat before the tournament has even started. But hey, both players are vulnerable to be beaten. Don't be afraid. Even if they played for don't be sorry, 5 hours, 29 minutes. Don't be afraid. You can go toe to toe today. You don't have to get to 5 sets. So I think that's one of the biggest fears, that at the end of the day, regardless of what they do, Sinner and Alcaraz will win. But I don't think so. I think when players get on the court, they give their best. And if on the day their best is better than their opponents, regardless of who their opponent is, then they win. But yes, players are preparing already for Wimbledon. And me, just waiting for that Wimbledon to happen. Because I want to see who is winning the next Grand Slam.
Yes, indeed. All of us are patiently waiting for Wimbledon to come around. Grass court season is in full swing. All right, let's take our first break of the morning. When we come back in, our good friend Mohammed Ben Suleiman has, he's in the news once again. Unsurprisingly, we're talking about that, talking about him, FIA, and warnings of a dark period in the sports. Don't go anywhere. Ben
So
Sulayem.
between the hotel Wi-Fi, I said between the hotel Wi-Fi and my own Wi-Fi, that's what I've been doing. I've been struggling with. When one hang, I switch to the other one. I don't know what's
Nigeria.
happening.
I don't know why we just can't have Wi-Fi that does work and not stress you.
Eh? Eh?
It's annoying.
Just be thankful. Just be
Extremely.
thankful that you have two to switch to.
Shay, that's what a lot of people do. They have two
Just be
ISPs
thankful you have two to.
before it disgraces them outside.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine
And you
having
miss something
imagine
big.
ha, imagine having an international, maybe a summit or an interview or something, and you're now doing
Ah,
network. Ah, nah, that's not cool.
mm, so you just mm-hmm. So really what you want to really do is just have two on standby.
Right, right. Okay, let's jump back in. All right, welcome back into the second half of the locker room on a feel good Friday morning. The smooth breakfast is in full gear right here on Smooth 98.1. We love music, we love life. We love sports as well. It's 31 minutes past 8 a.m. My name is Ayokunmi, and you know already. And if you don't know, Tega Supreme also with me on the show, as she always is. We've been having a fun time this morning, and the fun never stops. You can be a part of it as well by sending your thoughts in to us. We love to hear from you and read your messages. The WhatsApp number is 0809 444 0981. 0809 444 That is the WhatsApp number. Also join us on YouTube. You can find us at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Those are the ways you can join in on the locker room this morning. All right, Tega, as I mentioned earlier, we're talking about our very good friend, Mohammed Ben Sulayem. Yes, indeed. Now, controversial changes to the statutes of Formula One's governing body, the FIA, have been passed by members despite a warning the organization is in a dark period of democratic backsliding. Tega, what's happening in the FIA?
Okay, so yes, remember the statutes we were talking about. Can you remember that?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh no, Tega has lost the spot again. Oh dear. Tega, please find the spots.
Okay,
Find
I
that.
found the spot.
Okay,
I
fantastic.
found the spot. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so um, the biggest deal is he has succeeded in passing the law. And let me show you. Let me read some of the proposed changes. All right. Um, the first one is he extending the deadline for extending the deadline for potential candidates to declare is intended to discourage opposition. That's the first one. The second
Okay.
one, and this one is the biggest. This one is the biggest one. So there was a rule requiring that there are 28 members of the World Sports Council and 21 of them must be usually must be from different nationalities to help diversity, inclusion, and to ensure that there were checks and balances. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
21 of the 38 had to be from different nationalities. Oga has removed that law. He wants to bring his own people. Like so if I bring 10 of my people, I'm guaranteed 10 votes. So it will now become all these regional things like we do, in Nigerian sports. That's another one. There's another one that this is the one that even shocked me. So there used to be Senate members had to approve or dismiss some of the laws. Now they've given it to the office of the president only to have the final say. So where's the oversight? Where's the checks and balances? It used to be the members of the Senate that would take that, had that right to approve or disapprove. Now they've handed it over to only the office of the president. Who is the president?
Well, hey,
Bethlehem.
this is. I'm sorry, but this is sounding like an African sort of thing.
I'm
No,
telling you, an
no,
African dictator. Then
no
I'm not
insult
finished though.
intended.
I'm not finished though. Then they're going to eradicate they're going to limit some of the powers of the ethics committee. They said the process of the ethics committee prolongs the process of reaching a solution. So you have to understand what we're talking about here. You are limiting the powers of the ethics committee. Aren't the ethics supposed to hold up at so it's all this decision where they are trying to centralize the decision-making power between the FIA president and the president of the Senate, as opposed to the Senate members. That's what they are trying to do. So it's just centralizing power so that at the end of the day, one man gets the say. Now, you may say that, oh, I'm a man of integrity, so it's not bad for me to have all the powers. But when you leave, what if they put another person that is self-centered? Now you have
Exactly.
laws that are protecting the person. So, regardless of what
Tega has moved from the sport to back to the sport. Tega, back to the sport, or find another sport.
some of them should have resigned, but
Okay.
ultimately, to pass this statute, he got an 83% approval rate.
How?
83%. Exactly.
That
Because
is
all the people
that
that
is
were in
overwhelming.
opposition have found, yes, all the people that are in opposition have been resigning over time. Remember when we were telling you, this person has resigned, that person has resigned, the other person has
Yes,
resigned.
we talked about that. True.
About 7 people in power had resigned. Yes. So now he got the 83% approval rate. Who are you? Where do you want to start from to argue? It's sad, but that's what's happening in the FIA.
Hmm. Very, very bad precedent has been set on this one. Like you said, it's not about now. What happens later when someone who has no integrity and all that then comes in? Anyways, you can kick a can down the road, you meet it at the front at the end of the day. All right, let's leave the FIA and talk some football, some transfer matters. And let's talk Trent Alexander-Arnold, who said at his Real Madrid presentation on Thursday that he feels a big responsibility to deliver for his new club. He signed from Liverpool for a fee to speed up his arrival ahead of the Club World Cup. And he surprised as he gave a short speech in Spanish. Tega, Trent only planned this thing since, so not they speak Spanish already.
Look, I think for us that was the biggest surprise, because him being under a huge responsibility is not the issue. Once you move to Real Madrid, eyes are on you. Then
Automatic,
what
yeah.
made his own case was, yeah, automatically, once you move to Real Madrid, eyes are on you, automatically. However, what made his own case worse was the manner in which he moved, with some Liverpool fans being angry that he didn't give them an opportunity to make money from him. Do you understand?
Mm.
They're not angry that he moved. They're like, why would you move for free? That was their anger. You'd have given us an opportunity to make money. So he already was under pressure with people planning that he praying for him that he will fail. Then he now made matters worse. This boy who has lived all his life in England, I don't know how to explain it to a 2-year-old. You've lived all your life in England, not London, by the way. Before you say, the difference, you know how it is. London is a
Yeah.
diverse town in the sense of the people that come there. Uh-huh. This boy has lived all his life, and then he climbed a podium and to give a speech to a club he allegedly signed to just a few months ago, and his Spanish is Duolingo level. Do you know that? You don't understand. His words were pronounced correctly. It didn't sound like a speech he had rehearsed. It sounded like a speech in which he knew how to speak the language, at least, how do you call it? There's experts, there's a, no,
Mm.
he's not native speaker. He's not native speaker.
Intermediate.
No. He's an advanced speaker, but he's not a native speaker. I don't know how to, that there's a
Okay.
difference.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Native speaker would be someone that's the language is native to him. But advanced speaker is someone that knows how to speak the language well, even if it was not his original native language. He was an advanced speaker. Now people are beginning to look at you like, oh, so you have been plotting this move since. Do you know what it is? It's like, let me explain it to you. It's like you broke up with your girlfriend today. Next week, you are engaged to another girl. What
Mm.
you are telling us is that you have been dating the other girl since. That's what it means. That's what Trent Alexander-Arnold did.
Liverpool fans are not having it at all. There's been a meltdown on social
I don't
media
think
since
I don't
yesterday.
think Liverpool fans are I don't think Liverpool fans are the only one that are scared. I'm scared of Trent now. I don't think I can trust him. If I'm talking to Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'm not turning my back on him. I'll be looking at him as I walk away because, man, that was some planning.
Mm. Oh well, he's now a Madrid player, and he could make his debut on June the 18th in Madrid's opener against, I believe, Al Hilal in the Club World Cup. So let's see how he'll turn out
Yeah,
for his
let's
new
see
club.
how he pans out for them.
All right, still
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
transfer matters. Let's talk about Kevin De Bruyne. He has signed for Liverpool Napoli, I beg your pardon, as a free agent after being released by Man City. The Serie A champions president Aurelio De Laurentiis confirmed on Thursday.
Yes, so we're talking about the big move. I expected Kevin De Bruyne to go to Saudi Arabia and earn his pension money. But the guy says, I still have power to play in Europe, and he's moving to defending champions Napoli. The good news is that Napoli the Italian Serie A plays at a slower pace than the Premier
Right.
League. It's not his pace wouldn't matter, or his slowing or his loss of pace as he's aging wouldn't matter. But also, I wonder how he would fare physically because those guys they still hit you, they still challenge you physically.
Mm.
I don't know if his ankles will survive the Italian Serie A because sometimes in that Italian Serie A, they'll be looking for death certificates before they blow the whistle for foul. So I don't I don't know how he's going to survive the physicality, but I mean, pace wise, it's a pace that is suited to him. So it's not such a bad idea. Although financially, I would have thought that the Saudi League would be beneficial to him as he's at the tail end of his career. However, the guy still wants to compete. So let's see how that works out for him in Italy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Another player who's completed a transfer is Mateus Cunha. Man United on Thursday confirmed his signing from Wolves on a 5-year deal with the option of a further year.
I'm telling you. So this Radcliffe business is not. It's now looking like Chelsea business. 5 years contract, 7 years contract. Which kind of long-term slavery
No,
is this?
now 4 or 5 years is normal now. Chelsea do 7 or 8 or
No,
even 10 years now.
no, it's three. No, it's 3 years that is normal. 2 or 3 years is normal. 4 or 5
No,
years is slavery.
4 years
Which kind
minimum
of
now. Tega, 4 years like 4 years
is it a
minimum is normal
marriage?
now.
Is it a marriage? It's a football contract.
It is in a way. Marriage is a contract as well. There you are.
No, no, no. I say it's not it's a different kind of contract. Marriage is a long-term contract. This football contract shouldn't be this long. However, yes, he's gotten the move. What I think it is that Manchester is trying to build, but not just buying players, also buying players that can give them instant results. So Cunha has had experience in the EPL. I think that's a good news for Amorim that he has experience in the EPL, so it shouldn't take long for him to acclimatize. But let's see how he fits within the pieces, because one of the most disappointing things for Manchester United was that they had a striker who didn't score as many goals as some people's central defenders. So I think
That was sad.
I
That
think
was sad stuff.
ultimately that that was sad stuff. So ultimately, they're looking for a proven goal scorer who scored in a system that didn't really score many goals, but was still able to deliver. Has experience in the EPL and can hit the ground running with Manchester United. And of course, on your CV, whether you like it or not, regardless of where Manchester United finished yesterday, once you have a Manchester United profile on your CV, it upgrades your resume. So ultimately, good move for Konya, good move for Manchester United.
Yes, indeed. All right, Tega. I know time has actually flown by, but I just need to comment
Have
on
I left
this
the spot?
Tottenham. No, Tottenham and Thomas Frank. Are you there, Tega? No, not at the tail end. Find the find the sweet spot for the last time, Tega, please. So, so you can make your comments about that, and of course about LIS as well. I hope she can come back, come back, come back. Let's see. Can she? Will she? Okay. In case that doesn't happen, let me begin to take the WhatsApp messages that I've lined up here, and hopefully
Okay,
Tega
yeah,
finds
let's
the
run
sweet
through the
spot.
messages. I
Okay,
thought I left the spot again.
I think so. I think so. But you found it. All right.
Okay, let's read the messages. Yeah.
Cruz says Wi-Fi has finally joined the NEPA WhatsApp group. That's all I can say. Good morning, guys. Good morning to you, Cruz. Tayo says the forces that B want to take Tega's internet, but we say no, use that red cloth. Wimbledon has increased price money. Perhaps I finally pick up my racket and pose in white to play. Tayo, I pity your hips and your waist. I'm sorry for you. Anybody
I
learning
pity your
Spanish?
shoulders.
He then says anybody learning Spanish at this point has already logged out and made up his mind to leave us. This FIA person has mastered the art of politics, a standing ovation. Probably has African parents somewhere. I don't know. Ridwan says, how will Nunez feel knowing that Trent has understood his Spanish all this while and he chose to ignore? Good question. So Lewandowski has finally bullied the Polish manager out of his job, and he says Man City will win the Club World Cup. Well, let's see how that will pan out.
Let's see how that pans out. Yeah.
Dakpo from Ladipo Oluwole says the 2026 World Cup, which is being jointly hosted by Mexico and Canada, is good. However, the final is supposed to be played in New Jersey, US. Uh, we didn't talk about that this morning, Dakpo, but thank you for the message. I need to run through the others. This is AY Noniru says Man City are silently gathering the Avengers with all these recent signings. It seems Pep Guardiola is ready to cook something special with his recently acquired honorary degree next season. Watch out. That's Pep's way now. He doesn't win and he goes and buys everybody. All right.
As
YouTube,
usual.
Padre Pio says Trent had been learning Spanish prior to his move to Madrid. Because what was that? It was so fine and fluid. He must have been practicing forever. And Uche Nawokoye says, Club World Cup on my mind. City wants to scatter the transfer window. Later, other clubs will be catching up. Why are Liverpool fans hating on Trent? They wasted time renewing his contract. Free him. He didn't want to renew. Simple as. Richard says, I almost cried when you didn't kick off early. I was already anticipating the boring drive to work with you and Mama T. I greet you guys. Richard, we can't leave you in the lurch. We're here for you. And Abiodun Bishop says the big question of Trent's saga is why he was crying a river as he departed Liverpool when he had always fantasized playing for Madrid. Hypocrites. He's a Liverpool boy now. That's his home. He will cry. It's
I've
natural.
told you it's like I've told you it's like the breakup. I beg. I told you it's like that breakup. He'll say, I really, really love you. It's not you, it's me. And then the next week he's engaged to another girl. I've told you it's the breakup pattern. The
But he will miss
breakup
home.
pattern.
He will.
On that note,
He will miss home. He
let
will
me
miss
do
home.
my usual pattern and take my leave. All right. Let me do my usual pattern and take my leave. It was great to have you on the show. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you at the LIS today. Today's event starts at 11 o'clock. So try to be there at the Balmoral Event Hall in Oregon. Kudirat Abiola Way. Kudirat
Right.
Abiola Way in Oregon. So try to be there from 11 o'clock today. We are having the Super Falcons. They are already in town and they'll be there at the conference. All right. So if you can, find your way to the Balmoral. All right. That's what's happening this weekend till I come your way back on Monday when we'll have gist aplenty.
Oh
Have a
yes.
fantastic weekend.
Have a great weekend, Tega, and a great Friday as well. You definitely need it. And Lagos, thank you so much for being a part of the locker room this morning. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. This is Smooth 98.1. Keep it tuned. The Smooth Breakfast kicks on.